Well, it's 12:36 Tuesday morning now, April 5th. I've just experienced the euphoria of the KU Jayhawks winning the national championship. I mean, maybe one of the most exciting games ever. 15-point deficit at halftime. Then they came back, tied the game. With about 5 or 10 minutes into the second half. And they eventually held on to win it by 3 points. Biggest comeback in the history of the national title game. KU's fourth national championship. KU's 30, 40 minutes from my house where I live. I've lived in Johnson County, Kansas my entire life. So I'm not a KU alumni or Jayhawk really, but I was excited to see KU win. Then I go on Facebook, see CNBC post video about all the deaths in Ukraine, Russian troops, all the dead bodies in the street, mass graves, arms and legs sticking out of mud. Genocide, they call it, war crimes. It's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible and sad to think that these people, what they're doing. Somebody said this wouldn't happen if Ukraine would just done what Russia said, wanted, but Ukraine's an independent country, state, whatever, and they don't want the big bad bully Russia telling them what to do. Well, I'm sort of the same way. Most people are probably the same way. They don't want the big bad bully telling them what to do. My life's kind of been like that. Euphoria, and then just complete sadness and death. I don't know what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. One headline said that the Russian president calls all these dead pictures of dead people on the street fake news. I don't think it's fake news anyway. I think all the real news points that he's I don't know what we don't I don't know why he's doing what he's doing, but it's taking place, and he's a war criminal. I don't know what he is. All of his political opponents die before the election. Is he under some kind of internal pressure to do this? Is it own people? I don't know. It's just sickening. What these stockbroker offices have done to me is sickening, along with the police and the courthouse judges and the people in these jails and psychiatric hospitals. I compare to Nazi mafia scum. Because what they do is sickening to me. What they've done to me, what they gossip about my dad. Starting when I was 16, I just, I don't know what's went on with him. I know what's going on with me, and it's not acceptable. And I don't know who these people are. All the lookalikes, people who look like each other, decoys, intentional lookalikes, people who look like people who the real people don't know what's going on. It's all just a bunch of stupid bullshit. Merrill Lynch owes me $1 trillion. Smith Barney owes me $1 trillion. Payne Webber owes me $1 trillion for disrespecting my ownership in degrees. The state of Kansas owes me $1 trillion for disrespecting me in my ownership in degrees. Minimum wage for me with my degrees and test scores, $5 billion a year. Hedge fund paycheck president, business license president. My experience, the precedents of my life experience starting when I was working and trying to do things when I was 16. my parents tried to make me feel guilty or feel like I was a failure, or they just I couldn't believe it in Video Corner how really stupid and ridiculous they were. Hand me the $1 trillion, you punk ass stockbroker punks, and use courthouse punks, and use Topeka license punks. Identify yourselves based on ACT percent degrees and what from where. And I need to have help investigating who my father was, who was a person living his life after my college, and who was a person in photographs of him since I was born. Old black and white photographs with his quill people, some of them. He had not even nostrils like me. But when he was mouthing off insulting me in the nursing home, I'll never forget him saying about my big hideous nose. And he did not have uneven nostrils. He was not the same person who lived in the house I grew up in through high school after my college. He was a lunatic, idiot, gossiping, fucking idiot. These stockbrokers have disrespected me. Sprint. These real estate companies have disrespected me. Waddell and Reed. Purdue. That one Wilbur teacher was the most ridiculous lunatic I've ever seen. But I think there were 2 or 3 different people pretending to be him or something. But minimum wage for me is now $5 billion a year. That's an expense to whoever's paying me and revenue to me. So I'm interested in the revenue to me. Well, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, KU, State of Kansas is the national champions in men's basketball. Good job.